from beautiful South Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
First run now for Kyron Williams. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They work now on 2nd and 9. Play action. Stafford. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Intercepted. The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They'll run it with Hill. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
32 stairs.
They'll run with Hill. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 46 yards. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, 32 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Patterson now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. He's piloted 2 drives so far, and unfortunately not very well piloted. Both led to interceptions. Now they're facing the deficit, another touchdown after that previous pick. Starting over here, 1st and 10. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. He's going to air one out. And Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. picked up by a Fitu Melifonwu. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Stafford's pass intercepted. The Dolphins take over first and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Ready, shot. Snap. 21G, 21G.
Here's Tua. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Rams. They're going to take possession here at their own 33. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there. And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Omaha, ready, move. Set. 20 hot.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
32. 40 got. 40 got.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
0.
Now Stafford. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Easy. Hey.
Stafford. He's got room to roam. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line.
40 got.
Throws left side. Atwell's got it. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one. 2nd and goal from the 1.
40 got. Ready.
At the 1-yard line.
260.
Williams is into the end zone. Touchdown, L.A.
Touchdown, L.A.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that one makes it 14-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was capped off by the Kyren Williams touchdown run. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now Tua signaling to change things up. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That flag, that'll push him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Go, go, go.
Tua going to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Up the middle, Achane. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Next receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Right back to Achane on second down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Dolphins go up by 2 touchdowns. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7, our score. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football, as they've got it as we resume action. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Gain of 11. That's good for Rams. First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Here's Stafford. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. So on fourth down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And they will take over first and 10. Devon Achane of the offense ready to go once again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark. And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it. Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Now third down and 7. Now two are going to change the play. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. This is caught inside the 15. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tyreek Hill. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point try now for Patterson. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it first and 10. Stafford now to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Go ahead.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin first and 10. The drive starts with a run from Achane. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They'll run. This is Hill. Pushes past him. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Here now, 3rd and a yard.
Solo left Zion. Hey, let's go. Corner, long.
From the gun, it's Tua. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Incomplete.
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Throwing quickly out wide, Atwell. And he gets out near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds.
16 yards. First down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Now it's Stafford. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
A loss of 7 yards. It's second down.
Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Back to throw. Stafford. That is incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's Achane to start the drive. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
All right, come on. 22.
On the carry, it's Hill. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
The tackle made back at midfield.
Number 1, high. Hey, 21, watch it, Oscar.
From midfield, here's Tua. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. And that time it fell incomplete. Tua's going to change things up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. The Rams ready to go on offense. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Stafford. To the right side, and complete to Atwell. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
First down, Los Angeles.
To the air again, Stafford.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And 10 yards to go.
Easy, easy. Middle. Hurry.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford looks to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1.
21, 50. White. Hey.
Back to throw again. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stretched the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Hey, easy. Hey. Hey.
Again, it's Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Puka Nacua, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Rams get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point forthcoming. Well, this will frustrate a coach right here. The flag is out before they get off the extra point. And this is going to be a delay of game. So that flag will set him back 5 yards. Now from 5 yards further back, this becomes a 37-yard extra point attempt. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
21G. 44. Ready.
Here's Hill. Room here to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That's good for a Dolphins first down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Achane gets it from the gun. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
He was brought down by
now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. A run for Hill. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
16 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
20, TX. Corner, long, double one, high.
Tua, a final shot before half. And his throw is incomplete. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night prime time. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
It's a gain of 28 yards.
That's good for 28 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
At the 48-yard line.
On the ground, this is Hill. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Here's Tua. They complete it to Hill. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. But it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 30.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
32 stayers.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
Come on, two.
Achane here, they stay on the ground. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
22-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up third and
They'll come
2.
to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll dump this off to Achane. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Another Dolphins first
44.
down.
Ready.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Now Tua signaling to change things up.
Come on, two. Out.
They'll run. Achane. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal.
At the Rams' 11-yard line.
Hey, 21 TX.
Tua sets up to pass it. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And he's brought down. A nice little juke move that preceded it, but not much thereafter. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this is off the left upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And Patterson back out there to sim this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. So good field position for the Rams as they come up first and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Ladies!
To throw is Stafford. Pass complete there to McCool. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Brings up second and 2 at the 48-yard line.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Stafford now to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. Throwing again is Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Stay 50, stay 50. 0. Double right.
Now Stafford. The slam connects with Devontae Adams. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
And the Rams first down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Zebra. Set. Red 80. And middle. Big 20. Middle. Stop.
Here's Stafford. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18.
17 yards.
Hey, 54.
First down, Rams.
Omaha. Ready, move. Hey, give me radar.
Now Stafford. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And the Rams are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
50. 40 got. Hurry.
Stafford. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you've got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
Set. Real right. 59. 32. 21. Omaha. Ready, move. Look at him.
Here's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on third and goal.
Ready. 250. Zebra. Like 7. 22. Hey, red. Hey, 5-0.
Now it's Stafford. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Dolphins are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 1-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll go out of bounds just shy of the 20.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for a Dolphins first down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's first and 10 at the 19-yard line. Again, it's Achane. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 116 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
First down. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Looking to pass. Tua. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Defended by Kobe Durant.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. On the handoff, it's Achane. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. They'll give this to Gtowncapp. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
All right, go, go, go. Come on, 2.
Here's Gtowncapp. And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Patterson's kick is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Well, the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry, and now points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Back to throw, Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40.
20, 22. Omaha, ready to move. 20 high.
Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Hey.
To the air again, Stafford. And the Dolphins rush gets home, down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. Well, they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
59. Zero.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, getting a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Hey, 21 T8.
Tua going to throw. Throw caught by Gtowncapp. So nothing doing there, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now Tua. Now he's loose down the middle of the field. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Nick Westbrook-Akine, 35 yards. And the Dolphins are able to widen their advantage. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line. L.A. set to take over again on offense.
And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that
the ball comes out. A big loss on the play. That's the bad news. A consolation, they keep the football.
Well, obviously you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
The guy's man, complete.
A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
They need two. Here's third down.
Give me radar. 22. Alert. Stop.
Throwing is Stafford. And he is caught. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
21.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
0. 50.
Back to throw. Stafford. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Drill right. 22. Omaha. Double right. 11.
Back to throw again. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The Rams on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and forever.
32.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And my goodness, another interception. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Monday. Alert.
Operating from the gun. Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18.
That's another Rams 1st down. 1st and 10.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Set. Alert. Blue 60.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Miami set to take over. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Ready. Ready,
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Complete to Tyreek Hill. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Ready. All right, go ahead, go. Solo left Zion. Solo left Zion.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Tyreek Hill's got another one. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
20, TX.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
35-yard line.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Tua to throw again. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are indeed going to get this, and that should all but do it.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he is going to have a Miami first down, and the Dolphins are going to win the football game.
First down.
Hey, get set.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Watch it, Oscar. Hey. Farther, long. Out.
Here's Tua. This is caught.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
First and goal.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Achane will score. Touchdown, Miami.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Patterson now for the extra point.
And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Achane.